Welcome to the Justice Room. Your life, your rights, your options. Experience and learn from discussions with legal professionals and other experts about the law, its challenges, and how it could affect you. Here at the Justice Room. Welcome to the Justice Room.
Okay, so wait. So what you're saying then is that if I get pulled over on a driving while license suspended with knowledge, so I knew about it, and I go to court and I ask for an adjudication withhold and I ask them to grant that, and they grant this for me. Now, as my example, what I'm trying to say is, a year from now, I get again a dwellis without knowledge. And then a year from then, I get a dwellis without knowledge again. But those, I guess what I'm trying to understand is, the first criminal one still counts against you, whether you get a withhold or not. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly right.
Okay, so then if you get 3 criminal dwellises, and they're all withheld within 3 years, you're still going to be considered HTO.
Absolutely.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Well, when you say nothing you can do about it, you can always go back to, it all depends on whether you had an attorney when you did it. Okay, if you had an attorney, you had advice of counsel when you entered into those pleas and got your withholds, probably not a lot you can do about it. If you just went in and said, this is not a big deal, I'm going to take care of it myself, and you weren't counseled, then possibly you can go back in and have that plea and sentence vacated, and you can go in and try to negotiate with the state attorney to try to get it reduced to a charge that does not operate as a strike, or take it to trial.
Okay, so then and again, like I tell a lot of the listeners that listen to our show, whether it be on air or off air, I think that it's important that anytime that you've had any dealings with the police in any given matter, whether it be civil, whether it be criminal, whether it be a traffic infraction or a non-traffic infraction, I've always found that it's best to at least seek the advice of counsel. Now, at least that's my opinion.
Well, I'd like to expound on that just for a moment. Absolutely, I would advise anybody, even a traffic ticket, because you don't know how it's going to affect your driver's license, and it's incredibly important, especially in Florida, to have a driver's license to eke out a living.
Yeah.
People depend on their ability to drive to be able to support themselves and their families.
Right.
Now, I certainly don't charge anything for an initial consultation, and I don't know any criminal defense attorney in Central Florida who does. So to call my office and ask me a few simple questions about, I got this ticket, this is what it says, what can it mean to me? I can tell you what you should do, what you shouldn't do, and it doesn't cost you a thing.
And I think that that's important people to know, and I really don't think that a lot of them do know this, because I've had people even say that, so I'm glad you brought that up. To reach a criminal defense lawyer like yourself that works, and now, do you specialize with these type of offenses? Is this something that or do you, I'm sure you do other,
I do criminal, from second-degree misdemeanors to capital felonies, first-degree murder, federal criminal cases, so, and everything in between. But these driving offenses have become just rampant. People that, like I said, have never had a brush with the law are looking at having their driver's license revoked for 5 years and wondering how they're going to make a living now.
Right.
And that's when I first run into them.
All right. Well, I'm going to take a break real quick because I want to touch about a few more things that I want to... Actually, you know what? Why don't we just keep going? I want to talk a little bit about what could cause this to happen. First, you have driving with license suspended with or without knowledge. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but we talked about a DUI can cause this to happen.
That's correct.
A voluntary or involuntary manslaughter, but that's a whole other topic. We'll get into that probably another show.
That's not one of 3 strikes. That in and of itself will operate to revoke your license.
Just by itself. So
correct.
You're allegedly charged with that, and it could possibly immediately revoke your license.
That's correct.
Okay. A felony, any type of felony, would fall into that category. Is that correct?
I should correct myself. Voluntary or involuntary manslaughter is one of the 3 strikes, as well as DUI and felony commission, using a vehicle, the driving with license suspended or revoked, as we've been talking about, and driving a commercial motor vehicle while his or her privilege is disqualified. And again, this is important, 15 convictions for moving traffic offenses for which points may be assessed. And again, it's important to recognize that that word convictions is used once again, because if any one of those traffic offenses that we're talking about, if adjudication was withheld, there's no conviction, and so it doesn't operate as one of the 15.
Again, why I think it's important that no matter how simple the traffic ticket may be, that you consult with an attorney and ask them how this could impact you.